Accessing library computer data.
And I was like holding on to her arm, supporting her kind of thing, and had my hand against my mouth, but nothing has happened to me yet.
Right.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, I was like holding my own teeth in my mouth, and I was holding on to Shakel's hair also.
Yeah.
I was holding on to a chunk of her hair.
Did I regrow my hair already, or am I just rocking it?
We're gonna get into that, I think.
Do you remember if I said you lost all your hair or if you just lost chunks of it?
No, you said all of it, like eyebrows included.
Yeah.
Eyebrows, pubes, and all.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It just like
I haven't taken off my uniform yet to clear out the pubes.
it
but-
all of the
It's like falling out the bottom of your pant leg.
yeah.
Put these on, simmer down.
The roots just gave up the ghost and just popped out, so
Wow.
I'm not in a hurry to regrow any of that hair.
Yeah, right.
Double.
Can you like pick what you regrow?
Yeah, just my eyebrows and my head hair, if you please.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a dermal regenerator, something they can do with the dermal regenerator to help regenerate your hair follicles faster. Like, it's not going to give you long hair overnight, right? But it will, like...
I
maybe
got
she
short
can-
hair now.
She can massage your hair follicles with some science.
Locks got to regrow her nails right away.
Right.
That's true.
But maybe she can give you, like... I mean, she can give you, like, an inch or so. And then she'll tell you, like, if you want to hold this over your own head and stare at yourself in the mirror, and
I might want to do that.
It's like a reverse electric razor, right? Instead of shaving your head, you're just kind of like doing this thing on your head to make your hair grow.
And I gotta make sure I do it evenly, otherwise it grows all...
It's kind of a pain
Oh my
in the
gosh,
ass.
grow yourself a mullet.
Yeah.
There we
Give
go.
yourself a mullet.
I'm gonna be talking like this because I got no teeth.
No, she helped you regrow some teeth with the regenerator.
You didn't lose them all, anyway, as I recall.
So it like whistles when you talk because you have like three teeth.
Deanna was so excited to give blowjobs with no teeth.
What? I don't remember that.
Where's the Ensign Kipper?
I mean, post that.
How much holodeck time could you get? Yeah, you're gonna have a slumber party because the doctor is, she scanned you all the time that it happened. When Posa and Shakel lost their hair and teeth, she scanned you as it was happening.
Yeah.
So now she's got quite a bit of data, but I mean, you're all just kind of probably constantly glancing at Penny to see what's gonna happen, right? And the doctor is too. Doctor like keeps looking up, like she's in her office and you can see her like eyes come up over like the glass over her like computer screen every now and then.
I was just gonna say, is she like out like off and analyzing the data, so she's like not in the room with us?
Yeah, exactly. But every now and then she peeks up through the glass. She's like in a fishbowl, right? She peeks up through the glass to see if anyone's freaking out or if anyone's losing anything. Yeah, you are... I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about while you're in sickbay, or if you just want to kind of hit the hay and wait for the morning to come.
I mean, we're all probably pretty exhausted, right?
There's no fucking way Penny is sleeping knowing that like my arms might just spontaneously fall off of my body.
Yeah. That's kind of Posa's thought. It's like, yeah, she's tired, but I don't see myself falling asleep really anytime soon. So if we want to talk, then we'll talk. But if not, I'll just sit up and be paranoid.
Lux is already dozed off.
Done.
If something interesting happens, wake me up.
Okay. Good role playing, Heather.
Maybe Shakel and Lox are both asleep. So if Penny and Posa want to have a sidebar, now's the time, because I would say Shakel went to sleep too.
All right.
I'm just terrified. So I'm just sitting there with my knees pulled up to my chest. I have dropped the hair. I have removed the hand from my mouth, probably. And I'm just sitting there with my knees pulled up to my chest, just wide-eyed, kind of staring off, terrified.
Yeah, before I fell asleep, I cleaned up my own hair.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I went to the bathroom. I got the pubes out of my undies. I cleaned up.
You're so thoughtful of the doctor who's going to have to do that after you. So that's nice. She's busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I left off last episode basically saying that I was sort of cradling Penny in expectation of something happening. So I think we're kind of still the same. We're on the same bio bed.
Right.
And
just hanging out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
just
of
waiting.
Just jittery and
Well, an hour goes by, then another, nothing happens. Penny seems to be in the clear.
Okay. I had sort of thought about this too. As we're sitting there, I think especially when, it's, past midnight or whatever ship time and nothing's happening to Penny as she kind of calms down, as I assume she would, because nothing keeps happening. Not completely, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of keep investigating myself and do a little more in-depth,
some
Am I in bed with you this time, or...
Yeah, you're still there.
I didn't even go to the bathroom or anything. I'm right in front of Penny. I'm on the bed.
Consensual.
Well, I don't know much about Bajoran anatomy, but I'm willing to find out. Hey-o.
Another time. Today is not that day. But yeah, no. Looking my this reality's self up, and I know about my mom, and I know about apparently siblings that I didn't have before, so on, but I wanted to see my Starfleet record and, what were my hobbies and shit like that, because I know there's all kinds of records of me, so I wanted to see how similar or dissimilar I actually was.
Sure. You spent some time researching. I'm not going to make you roll for it. What did you find?
Oh, fuck. I thought you were going to come up with that.
I mean, how different is this past version of yourself than from you? Is it wildly different, or is it only slightly different, or maybe you took up crocheting instead of knitting, or...
I think I'm slightly different. Okay, so I'm gonna sort of go meta here for just a second, but what I'm thinking is, as Posa, did we, as a foursome, create this alternate reality, or did we slip into this alternate reality? So did we create this alternate timeline by going through this wormhole and basically reliving our most important life experiences and therein creating, a little fork that we veered off into somehow? Or did this already exist and we just relived our past experiences from somebody else's timeline, and then we switched places? So I'm very confused and a little paranoid, and I'm not really sure what to make of any of this because there's just too much science shit going on.
So you're wondering, in a universe of infinite possibilities and infinite pluralities, did all of these alternate universes already exist? Or is it possible to create pluralities that didn't exist before?
Yeah, did we make this one?
Yeah, you'd have no way of knowing.
Did we make it, or did you make it? Is it real? Are we all experiencing the same reality? Fuck,
there you go.
Who knows?
Throw in another fucking fish on the Barbie or whatever the fuck it's called.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Shrimps generally, but shrimps are gross, so fish for sure.
Fish is good. Fuck shrimp.
Okay, good.
Still not sure what you mean by it, but let's roll.
We're sleeping. We're asleep, Locke, so it doesn't matter what we think.
So I guess I probably wouldn't find out too much is actually different, because what I figured was either this this timeline me, or the me that created this timeline, was even more intense when it came to my mother in particular, leaving my mom on Bajor. So I'm trying to think, like, I'm pretty shitty. Like, I'm not a great Starfleet person. Let's just put that out there. So I would hate to think that I got shittier in this timeline.
Sure.
But I think maybe I'm shitty in a different way. Something like that.
I mean, that's up to you. What did you find? I mean, you still got posted to the Komodo, so...
Right.
So it still can't be great.
Can't be great.
Right. You know, fuck. I wrote it down. I was like, did I get better? Did I get different grades? Did I have more or different acolytes? But I don't know.
Whether you know right now or not isn't going to change this particular session.
Okay.
It's something that you can keep exploring with your characters over, like, quite a significant period of time.
Okay.
This is going to be the sort of thing where, like, in season 5, something comes up where it's going to be like, all of a sudden, a shuttlecraft comes through the word black space anomaly, and now there's
alert,
more
Susie.
of you. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, this is the sort of thing that, Star Trek, it's...
I don't know. Star Trek would have fixed this incident already. You would have gone back through the wormhole, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, that Harry Kim...
Yeah, I know, but we wrapped that Harry Kim up in that app. Like, he can't go back. His shit blew up.
As far as you know, you can't go back either, right? Because the anomaly's gone.
Yeah.
So
that's part of what Posa is frustrated about, what she's gonna try to figure out.
So I will tell you this, as you're searching, you're just kind of dinking around searching, and it actually comes up as sort of a shipwide announcement. You get a pop-up on your fucking pad. It's telling you that the Komodo has new orders, and that... Oh shit, I didn't make up a name for this fucking planet.
Ever. Never make it up beforehand, Susie.
Never.
Always on the spot. That's our thing.
What's the... So I need a name for a planet. It's gonna be planet...
Tremel.
Oh, that's good. That's first.
I was thinking tempora, but tremel sounds probably
Nice.
better.
I was trying really hard not to say express ship.
Good news, everyone.
So planet Tremel it's a planet inhabited by a species known as the Biplays, and they have been attempting to get into the Federation for some time. They've been going through basically all the paperwork to prove that they can fall in line with Federation ideals, things like that. That they can pass all the checks, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Komodo has received orders to essentially go do their 6-month checkup, right? To make sure that they're adhering to all of the requirements Starfleet sets forth for planets trying to join the Federation, and to make sure that, shit hasn't broken loose or they've violated any of the tenets. So...
Yeah.
That's what you know. It just came up as a pop-up alert, essentially.
Well, if I'm looking at the pad and I see that, I'm gonna at least tell Penny. If nothing else, I'm going to wake up everybody and be like, something's happening on this ship. I don't know if we're supposed to do anything or not.
It's just sort of a inter-ship comm. It's not like a red alert or anything. It's just like, hey, everyone, you'll either see it now because you're on shift, or you'll see it when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, we probably wouldn't do anything about it till we're on duty anyways.
You're used to getting these, right? You know that you don't need to wake everyone up to tell them, right? It's not like battle stations, so...
I would probably want to look into that planet and see what that's all about, because have I heard of that planet before?
It's a pretty small planet. It's not been on your radar, essentially. I mean, Biplays are not like they're not a huge, they have one planet. They don't really have colonies on any other planets. But as you're reading about them, you read that they do have a significant scientific community. They do, they're actually quite advanced, which is why they want to join Starfleet, because they have pretty advanced scientific thought But they know that being officially a part of the Federation will grant them more access to research, facilities, equipment, things like that.
Well, I'd be sharing this with Penny since she's still awake. Mm-hmm. Especially since we're both science-minded.
Yeah.
Sure. It's nothing too exciting, so...
I mean, it's something to take our mind off of what's going on right now.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you just kind of dig in and look at planet Tremel. It's a Class M planet. I had to remember.
I was going to write that down, but you know what? They're all Class M planets, so I'm not going to write it down.
It's got significant oceans. It's actually sort of, what's
tropical?
The word I'm looking? Not tropical. It's
temperate.
It's like temperate rainforest, temperate forest, things like that. All in all, not too hot, not too cold. Just overall, a rather temperate planet. So, imagine the Pacific Northwest as an entire planet.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
We'll just say, to move things along, that you guys are looking at
Pass out.
shit about byplays and Tremel, and you eventually get tired, nothing happens to Penny, and you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're totally spooning on the biobed, by the way.
Totally. Yeah.
You wake up and the doctor is already awake, milling around. Who's the first one awake?
Me, because I went to bed first.
So
I'm an early riser.
You are command, so you gotta be up early. You gotta be Johnny on the spot. Locks us on the spot. You wake up and you kind of roll out of your med bed. And she says, I'm glad you're awake, Lieutenant. I have some of my preliminary findings based on what happened to the three of you yesterday.
Fantastic. Lay it on me.
Well, I don't have much to tell you, unfortunately, because it's a bit out of my my expertise.
Okay.
You're not so much sick as you're, how do I put this? Temporally out of phase.
Fuck, we're phase shifting.
So,
I looked up some previous research that other scientists have done on this, but
I start to wake up because I'm a light sleeper.
I would suggest that that we get you in touch with some. Wow, my Scottish accent isn't very good today. It's because I haven't drank a whole bottle of sake. I would get you in touch.
Just keep it up, baby. It's perfect.
I'll talk to the captain and we'll get you in touch with some experts. And then she says, here's the research. Share it with the other girls and you tell them what's going on. So the GM doesn't have to keep doing this accent.
have you been drinking?
She just leaves.
8 in the morning.
She's been on shift all night. She's got to go to sleep.
Yeah, she was up all night, so she is a little,
so she's a little drunk?
She's a little loopy.
She had a little scotch in the office with her as she was working last night.
Always.
Little late night nipper.
She gives herself a hypo spray, to sober her up.
She didn't do it yet.
And she crashes on the cot in her office.
That's where she sleeps. Poor thing.
No, she's got her own quarters, but you get the sense that she sleeps in here a lot.
She's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shaq's awake, Shakel's awake, and I think she wants to see the research.
Yeah, I would kind of sit up sleepily.
I obviously just hand it over.
Right. So you hand me the pad.
Command.
I'm like, oh, thank God.
So you hand me the pad, and we had talked about it last session, but I think Shakel can't read pads in this universe.
Right.
Shit.
Pursuant of being out of phase, my telepathy doesn't work on this phase.
You'd have to have the pad, read it out loud to you. You'd
Right,
have to turn the narrator on to have it read it to you.
Well, shout out to Twitter user Fluffgar, Miranda Jean, for reminding me of the tactile interface for Elcars that Tuvok uses in that episode of Voyager when they're trying to fucking get back home at the very end.
So it's kind of like Braille?
Yeah, it's Braille. Okay. It's Braille Elcars. So I have to turn that on. Like, this is the first time anybody sees that happen.
I'm gonna shake Penny awake if she isn't already.
So, like, in front of everybody, I, like, have to say to the pad, like, activate tactile interface.
Yeah.
So that I can read it.
I'll be like, what?
You start reading it, and it's a lot of techno babble, but essentially it's less medical readings, and more. I mean, it's definitely there's definitely bio readings, things like that. But what you see is readings overlaid on other readings, and the readings underneath are biosignatures that Starfleet had captured of the four of you, previously, before the event, as one of your umpteen, routine medical checks.
Right. Well, they also, like, always talk about your transporter signature, right?
Yep. She's got the transporter signature in there, too, and then she's got the readings she did on, specifically, Loxus's looks okay, and Penny's looks okay, because she didn't get a chance to scan them when the event was happening. Posa's and Shakel's, she's overlaid the new data on top of the old data, and it's definitely, it doesn't sync up. And she's done a bunch of research, there's a bunch of footnotes, there's a bunch of links and references to other, astrophysics, scientific articles and research about temporal anomalies and things like that, and studies that they've done on, you're not the first people that this has happened to, weirdly enough, because it's fucking Star Trek.
Enough.
Yeah. So, and it basically matches the previous findings that people had in similar situations. That most of the time you seem to be in sync with your previous signatures, but during the events, Posa and Shakel were wildly out of sync with what was expected.
Yeah.
Well, what's that all about?
Is there a way to find out if we're going to experience more of these events? Or, I mean, I absolutely am interested in as to why Penny has not experienced anything.
I mean, I guess they happened at the same time. Me and Posa, like, pretty close together. So I don't suppose that we recorded anything different, that might have caused it or spurred it on.
As far as like event,
like flew through astral,
right? Yeah.
Something,
like an outside event that may have caused it to happen.
Jostled us,
right? She hasn't synced that data with the ship's readings about what was going on at that time.
That's something I would do.
Okay, so I want you to, you don't need to give me a roll. You actually have time to take time to do this.
So ready to roll.
I know. That's the one thing about Fate is if you have time to do it, you don't need to roll. Or if it's exceptionally difficult, you don't need to roll. But this is kind of, you're Starfleet officers.
Right, this is what we do.
Yeah.
It's computer stuff, yeah.
So you sync up the bio data with the ship's data, and you don't see anything. Like last quote-unquote night was pretty common. There wasn't anything that stood out. Nope, you were just on your way to Tremel at a certain point, and that was the only thing that changed. You were set course for somewhere, and then you changed course.
All right. Well, when do we go on duty? Are we cleared for duty?
So yeah, at the bottom of the pad, it says that you are cleared for duty. But should you experience an event, the doctor has set out several medical tricorders for you each, 4 of them. And should something happen, to start either, if you can, to scan yourself. If you can't, to have someone else scan you. Yeah.
I would absolutely jump up and grab a scanner and be like, who wants to be scanned? I'm going to scan myself.
We'll buddy system. I'll scan Lox will scan Penny.
There you go.
Penny will scan Posa will scan me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sounds good.
So, the captain actually walks in. And she says, oh, well, how are my patients doing today?
Fine, Captain.
Well, I also got a copy of the doctor's report. Seems slightly worrisome, but I think that if we continue searching Starfleet's databases for some answers and talk to the right experts, that we can get to the bottom of this. But there is a opportunity, I think, right underneath our noses. The Biplays are known for their astrophysics research, and I think
Posa's just standing there, like, nodding her head emphatically, like, yes, yes.
I think you may benefit from going down to the planet as part of this fairly routine check-in, because there's actually there's a scientific conference going on right now on the surface of all the Biplays' top experts in their fields. So I think it might be worth.
Can we beam down?
Oh, you can definitely beam down.
Okay, well, then I'm in.
Well, she stops. She says, actually, I would suggest taking a shuttle pod, because if you have an event midstream, I don't know what that will mean for the transporter. So,
can I request that we take the shuttle we returned in?
Sure. Yeah, the one that you went through the anomaly in.
Yeah, because I think Sukel can do her regular shit in that one. She doesn't have to tactile interface that shuttle.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out. That's for fucking.
And I definitely would want to check it. Yeah. I mean, we came back on that shuttle, right? So I didn't notice the need for tactile interface until I got back on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go to?
I want to use the same shuttle, which was Shuttle Bay 2. No, 1, 2.
Weird thing about this ship is that there's only 2 shuttle bays, not 3.
There's no secret third one?
They turned one into a bathroom. They remodeled.
Yeah, in this universe, that shuttle bay is now a cargo bay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were like, we don't use it that much. It just turned into a cargo bay.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Motel 6 or whatever has to be the head of the shuttle, the cargo bay.
So you go to the shuttle bay, I assume, unless there's anything else.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we get dressed. I don't know. I don't know if we put on our jams, but maybe we get dressed and then we head over.
Sure. You get into the shuttle bay, and bright and cheery is Lieutenant Hyatt.
Hi, Hyatt.
She's like, welcome back to Shuttle Bay 2. Well, I was looking over that shuttle, the pod you brought back in, because I heard that, because of the anomaly, it may be a different pod, so I was really curious, and I was looking at it, and it seems to be the exact same thing you guys took out. I was curious. I did all sorts of readings on it, didn't find nothing.
It doesn't seem different than the shuttle, say, in Shuttle Bay 1 or something? It's totally the same?
Seems to be exactly the same. So if you want to take a look, I mean, you be the ones to know, I guess. There. You charge in there.
I charge in there, and I, turn on one of the fucking consoles and see if I can see the LCARs. Susie, can I?
That's a really good question. Hold on.
Can I see those LCARs?
No. No, you can't.
Shit. The fuck?
Well, you can turn on the LCARs.
But I can't see it with my eyeballs. With my
exactly.
Telepathy.
Yep.
So if it matches everything that's on that ship, then that would, the 4 of us are the only ones that seem to be not from there. So that ship means that it's not the one that we had.
How? I don't know what this means, but I turn on this fucking tactile interface.
You are so insistent on, you're like, I'm not even going to sit in the back. Fuck you guys.
Nah, I'm still doing this shit.
You take her down to the surface. And you get down to the surface, and you're at the capital city. We'll say it's Capital City Shobai. And it's a relatively large city. You think of San Francisco, right? headquarters of Federation. Sort of that size. And you land, and the first thing you notice is, of course, you've never seen the byplays before.
And what are they like?
They are short. They are, they're slender. I mean, they're significantly short. They are, I would say...
half the size of Locks?
3 feet tall.
Shit.
Yeah.
Half the size of Locks.
Yep. And they're slender. I don't know if you, I guess think of a halfling from D&D, not quite as stocky as a hobbit, and a little bit skinnier than a hobbit.
What's the foot situation like?
Regular.
Regular feet. Okay, good.
Feet check out normal. As far as you can tell, there's shoes
Any
and
loaf?
boots. That's a good question.
They have just like this tiny little thing above their eyebrows. That's it.
I'm gonna say they have like protruding. It's not loaf, but their cheekbones come out a little bit. Like they have
Lady Gaga Born This Way-esque.
This infamous moment in life is not temporal. It is eternal. And thus began the beginning of the new race.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Exactly.
And big eyes, like
outfits?
big. Oh, their outfits. They're wearing
very
those...
important.
No,
This
it is important. You know, kind of like Wesley Crusher outfits.
Yes. Onesies?
Onesies. Those onesies.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're like different shades of like mossy green, brick red, mustard yellow.
They look adorable in those onesies.
They're nice professional colors.
More Wesley Crusher, less Jake Sisko.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And as you land and get out of your shuttle pod, you're not the only ones. You're not in charge of the paperwork. You know, there's someone else from the Komodo who's doing all of the boring stuff. The captain actually comes down. Second in command comes down. They're shaking hands, meeting and greeting, and they're going to go to a conference room and make sure, do all the checks. So you're actually not in charge of that. What you do know in the convention center over yonder, which is like a bunch of like bubbly spheres, is this scientific conference that's happening.
If we're okay to kind of go wherever, that's definitely where I'm going.
Yep. The byplays are, while they're not Federation yet, you have full clearance.
Even so, I don't step on the grass.
Right.
Don't pull any leaves or flower petals.
Do not let your dog pee on any of the trees.
Yeah, as far as you know, there's no weird, punishment zones.
Man, I hope our listeners really appreciate all my deep cut Star Trek jokes. All right, let's head in.
So I will say that the byplays, Heather, are actually looking at you, not in horror, but in astonishment. I feel like this is the first time a lot of them have seen a Klingon.
Ooh.
Oh, I am winking and pointing.
God.
You are so tall and you're so busty.
Is Locks the tallest?
Yeah.
I think so.
Seems to be
Probably.
what we've sort of, I think, whether we haven't officially established it, but I feel like that's how we treat her, right?
Yeah, she's the tallest. She's the buffest. She's got the biggest tits. Despite my drawings, my tits look really big, but I did draw myself first, and I apologize for that. It's just the angle. They're not that big.
Wait till we get into after hours gear.
Yeah, we get that boob window. Yeah.
Right.
It's just that Lox's head has a better fitting bra than you do.
Right, exactly. I'm not even wearing a bra, actually. That's why my tits look so big.
So, Heather, you're winking and pointing and...
Oh,
grinning.
yeah. Schmoozin'.
They're excited. They're actually they're like, oh, tell us more about Klingons. And as you're walking, you sort of gain some new friends, and they walk along with you, and they're like, oh, we would love to more about we've read all about Klingons. We hear that they're quite the warrior race, and we don't have warriors really here on Tremmel. We're all very peaceful, but it sounds really exciting, and we read that you killed your gods.
Oh my god.
Is that true?
Wow.
Posa just keeps looking over her shoulder like, oh my fucking god. Really? Oh,
they all
Jesus.
sound like Mickey Mouse. All of them are Mickey Mouse. All of them.
I mean, I kind of liked it at first, but now it's getting a little weird. my face is turning like, I'm not smiling anymore. It's kind of more of a stink face.
But they just keep asking you questions the whole while. And
it doesn't matter if I answer or not. They just
doesn't even matter if you answer. They just keep asking. Yeah.
And I let them go. Yeah. I'm still horrified, but I let them ramble.
And actually, as one asks you a question, another one will pipe in like, oh, well, I read that, they did this. And oh, no, I read it went this way. So they're actually talking about Klingon history around you. They'll ask you a question and then like 4 will chime in with what they've read.
Awesome.
Largely, they're right.
That's so cool.
They're mostly correct. You catch like a few wrong details here and there, but it's actually kind of nice how much apparently the average byplays has done their homework on Klingons. Yeah.
That's odd.
What kind of wrong is it? Is it slightly historically altered or is it wrong?
No, it's just wrong. Like Lux, well, that's a good point. Like, Lux is, you're not sure whether it's wrong because, and we did say in the last episode, stuff in Klingon history happened slightly differently. It ended in the same result, as the Klingons largely being allies of the Federation, with some hiccups here and there. But, some wars were a little longer, some were a little shorter, some skirmishes happened, some didn't. And you're not sure whether they're getting their facts wrong or whether those are the facts of this world.
Yeah, and I would just kind of I just keep nodding along regardless because I'm not going to
engage,
argue or right. I'm just going to let them go. Apparently, that's what they want to do anyway.
They are going.
So, great. Let them ramble on.
One of them looks to Posa and says, "You're a Bajoran." And then a few of them wander over and they start doing the exact same thing to you as you're walking. And then, then one notices, then they do it to all 3 of you. Cause you got the Klingon, you got the Bajoran, you got the Anar. Actually, they look at...
They don't know me, probably, right?
Right. And they're like, one asks kind of timidly, what's the other...
Andorian.
Yeah. Are you Andorian?
And I'm just like, yeah, kid.
I'm 58 years old.
I'm just like, this nod.
And I lean over to Posa and I was like, these guys talk too much. And that's coming from Penny.
And I look at Penny and like, you think they talk too much? Fuck.
Yeah, same. Eyes wide at Penny for that comment.
So it takes you about 10 minutes. You have to endure this for about 10 minutes. You finally get to the conference center. You can walk in and there's a check-in station, a front desk essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And they wave at you all cheerfully. And they just smile real big because, they're excited that some Starfleet people, some weird Starfleet aliens are here.
I just push Penny forward.
I was going to say the same thing.
So I walk up to him and I say, "Hi, we're so happy to be here. We're really excited to be here for this conference."
Well, we are excited to have you. We assume that you are the 4 Starfleet officers coming to the conference from the Komodo, am I right?
You bet your sweet bippy we are.
Let's see. That must be Lieutenant Agog.
Aye.
You must be Lieutenant Penny.
Sure am.
That's Lieutenant Shakel. And that's Lieutenant Israel.
Yes. But I go by Posa, because Posa's my first name, but I'm Bajoran, so it's my last name.
So you probably roll your eyes, because that happens a lot for out of species,
I do.
right?
I go, oh, it's Posa, Lieutenant Posa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I screw it up? I know sometimes
it's okay.
Are in
it's
different orders and
yep, totally. It's cool.
And yep. She hands each of you badges. Here you go. The conference is just happening. There's all sorts of talks. There's a expo hall where you can meet with scientists who are displaying their works. She hands each of you kind of a small pad, and she's like, here's the program! Have fun!
I immediately start looking for, like, people who deal with black holes, alternate realities, stuff like that.
Yeah, does the pad have tactile interface?
It's a good question. It doesn't.
Fuck. I can't see it. I cannot read the pad.
So you're just holding this pad like...
Yeah, I'm just like, I like boop, boop, boop it a couple times, but I can't see it, so I'm just like, whatever.
I go over to Shakel. I'm just like, it's cool. It's just this one time. Just like, I take the pad from her and be like, it's cool.
Oh, are you having a hard time reading that program? I apologize. Here, take this. And she hands you a program with a pad with it's an entirely different pad, but it has their version of LCARS.
Okay, so that one does have tactile interface?
It does. Except it's not
universally
translated.
Right? Can I still not read it? I probably still can't. I, like, feel it a bit and, like, try really hard to, like, I don't know, fucking telepathically translate it, but I can't. So I'm just like, okay.
So Penny being the linguistics officer, I went and studied a bunch of different languages. Granted, I've not really come into contact with these people, but can I figure this out?
I mean, you guys literally have pads that are written in your language, so...
Oh, cool. Okay, never mind.
But still, I mean, you're a linguistics person. You might want to figure it out, though.
That's
you
true.
don't know this language.
I can look at it and study it.
I'm cool with you guys just telling me what's up.
Okay.
Yeah. They're applying to be the Federation, so they use I guess English and the fucking metric system. So as part of their conversion, but their tactile interface is different from Federation's. Right. So
and I give it a once over, and it's like it's just not the same, so I can't read it. And I'm just like, I'm not really that worried about it. I know I'll go to whatever fucking panel Posa chooses anyways, so it's like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I take the pad from her and, like, stow it away for later.
So, someone's looking through the program for something that stands out?
Yeah, black holes, alternate realities, phase shifting, all that kind of shit.
Okay. I may make you roll.
Okay.
I have to turn my Kindle on. Hold on.
We didn't discuss what kind of dice we're using tonight.
Yes, ladies, I have chosen 4 dice at random tonight.
Me too!
Wow.
So I have 2 of the golden browns, 1 of the reg browns, and a black one. Spacey black.
I have spooge. I have space. I have ocean, and I have what's the orangey brownish goldish color?
They're like copper.
Copper. There you go.
So, Posa?
Yes.
Roll me a careful.
My best one. Oh, okay. So that's 3.
Okay. Yeah, you start flipping through the program, and something pops out at you. You're, like, basically just pushing the next button on the pad. Next. And you see a talk that's scheduled for about a half an hour from now called Infinite Diversity in Infinite Combinations. Alternative Mechanisms of Evolution.
Okay. Well, is there, like, some sort of timer or something? Or can I just, like, go there now?
Is this, like, 24? Are we doing this in real time?
You have 28 minutes to get to your panel.
Yeah.
You have 27 minutes to get to your panel. The line is full. You can't get into the panel.
I'm gonna tell the other ladies this is soon, and it sounds like something that maybe is pertinent to us right now, so I'm definitely gonna go. Please feel free to join me. If not, here's the rest of the program.
And Penny was kind of fiddling with the other, the thing that Shakel had that she couldn't read. I was fiddling with that just to look at the other language, and my head pops up, and I was like, I'm sorry, what was the name of that again?
Infinite Diversity in Infinite Combinations, Alternative Mechanisms of Evolution.
And I lose my shit, my face lights up, and I say, yes, I definitely want to go to that.
I was also just waiting for you to choose one, so I agree to go along as well.
Oh, this other panel looks really interesting. Of course I'm fucking coming.
Thank you, Lux.
So you guys start making your ways towards like hall, squiggly mark, strange line. And as you're walking that way, suddenly there's a very loud explosion.
Yes.
Fuck.
And one of the side of the bubble that you're kind of near, fucking just the glass shatters. The glass, like, it's like plexiglass or something. It did look rather reinforced and strong, but it just is blown to pieces. There's a huge hole. And all of a sudden, there's a bunch of phaser fire.
Now we're talking.
Did we bring our phasers? I mean, I guess we did, right?
I bring my phaser rifle everywhere.
Hey everybody, this is Danny, and you have been listening to Memory Alpha. Your hosts would like to thank Smelly Tooth for our theme song and Roll Music for various other musics on the podcast. You can find us online at MamoryAlpha.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MamoryAlpha. You can find our other projects and our Patreon at postrepost.com. And if you can't support us on Patreon, you can still financially support us by listening to our episodes with ads. Find that link and the RSS feed details at MamoryAlpha.com.